r/ForeverAloneWomen. Antique Traveler says, can anyone else just not stand other female-centric subs? I feel like nearly every post on those subs is just I feel like a wounded animal amongst vultures at the gym. Every man wants to frick me and I'm tired. Today, a man stared at me on the subway and it's just so exhausting. I wish men would stop hitting on me. I may have grabbed these nearly word for word from a certain sub. Ahem. Like okay. And I'm tired of you all complaining about men wanting you, as if that's the main problem that women face in their lives. I'm tired of attractive women pretending like everything is about them. I'm tired of them thinking every man wants them, when, let's be real, that's probably not true. I'm tired of them acting like victims and describing their victimhood with poetic language when they could simply just go to the gym during the women-only hours. I'm tired of them using the words men want to frick me instead of just saying have sex with me. You'd think with how gross the term is, they'd refrain from using it, but nope. I'm tired of them saying shit like as a conventionally attractive woman, I can tell that some men only want to frick me, not date me, as if the men that want to date them don't also want to have sex with them, as if being attractive is a curse, as if these men are somehow ruining her life, even though she just said she can tell who they are and could thus avoid them. I'm just tired of these women and all their griping about how hard it is to be wanted. Literally look at us. We are what happens to women who get no attention. If these women got what they wanted, they would be one of us, but you know what they think of us. They think we are just bitter femcels, and just as bad, and you're lying, because there's no way no man has ever been interested in you. I pray to God that these women get what they want, so they'd finally shut up, but the world isn't fair, is it? Samar 4ND0 meters girl says, every man wants to frick me and I'm tired. Meanwhile I cry over my appearance every single day. Ondova Swing says, same. Honestly it's so weird, because I don't even consider myself particularly ugly, and I don't personally think many of the women that say these things are considerably more attractive than me, yet they seem to live in a totally different world to me, and it's so frustrating. It genuinely makes me feel like I'm going insane. Dog 2006 says, yup. This is why I prefer my TikTok algorithm, because it's shown me some other forever alone women who get no attention from men. People can't fathom how different the lives of ugly women are compared to conventionally attractive ones. Hot Pink Blanket says, this is so annoying. Also today there were a few posts like how do I deal with being ugly, which TBF was a bit much, because how many posts like this can there be on one day? But someone made a post about how she's fed up with people whining about being ugly, and everyone was like, what do they want from us? As if ugly people are some different species from them conventionally attractive true women. Like maybe they don't want anything from you specifically? Maybe the posts were directed at fellow ugly women asking for advice from lived experience, and not for you, because as you said, you don't have anything to offer on this topic. Sorry, I'm irritated today. Shipliftin Asta says, yes, I feel this so much. Those other subs are like some alternate alien reality to me. Everything is centered around men in one way or another. Every post is about sex or birth control, or getting too much attention from men. I understand these can be complex issues, but if you can't relate to any of them, it's like you don't feel like an actual real woman. Reading through the replies on these posts is like entering another world completely. I will occasionally see posts that I strongly agree/relate to, but honestly most of the time I don't feel very welcome there. r/ForeverAloneWomen. S0 Meware Girl says, went to a bar alone and something weird happened. So this might be a weird story. I'll do my best to retell and convey my feelings at it. I like to treat myself to a nice drink once in a while, and as a I tend to do these things alone. A new addition to my list of fave loner spots is this at an away bar. Very small, very low key and quiet. I've been there a couple of times before, but last week, something weird happened while I was there. As I walked in, I saw a girl sitting at the bar, talking to the bartender. From the look of it, I got the sense that she and the bartender know each other. They all seemed friendly, there was no issue. After a while the girl left, and the bartender started to make small talks with me, as it's his job. Then our conversation went like this: "Bartender, there's something I need to tell you." Me, /surprised and worried / "What is it?" Bartender, "My friend thinks you're really pretty." Me, /confusion rising / "Your friend? You mean the girl who was just here?" Bartender, "Yes." Me, try my best to be casual and hide my disbelief. Bartender, "Here's proof." / whips out his phone and shows me a received text saying, "Wow, this customer so pretty / I mean, she's right." Me, politely thank him and his friend and try to move the conversation along. So, IDK. How to feel about this? I know it's just a very random and trivial interaction, which I should not be analytical about. However, as someone with body dysmorphia and have been struggling with appearances my whole life, I'm having a hard time processing it. I should note that the bartender was not hitting on me. He was actually courting his friend, the girl who complimented me, which he told me later in the evening. Second, it could just be a part of his job to be overly nice and complimentary to his customers, which I'm one of. So it's purely just business, not an external validation / confirmation of my perceived beauty. I grew up being an ugly child. I put that in quotations because I was, probably still is, perceived as conventionally non-attractive by societal beauty standards. When I look into the mirror, I don't think ugly, but I know in the eyes of society at large, I'm not considered beautiful. Being painfully aware about this has been my struggle since forever. As I grew up, I became more beautiful, meaning I learned and implemented ways to make myself appear more attractive to the world. I learned how to do skincare, makeup, hair, how to dress for my body type, I play sports, work out, eat healthy, what's my best angle in photos, how to speak, how to make conversations, how to carry myself essentially. Yes, there are many things one can do to make one become more attractive, but at the same time, there's so much you can do. No amount of that is going to magically transform me into Bella Hadid or One Young, I know that. It's like I had to do all of that just to appear normal. Again, I don't have a problem with the way that I look, but being painfully aware that the world at large does not see me that way makes me feel bad. Oh, but as long as you think you're beautiful, that's all that matters. Yeah, it's more complicated than that, buddy. And that is why this bar incident made me feel so weird. I wasn't happy receiving the compliment. Instead, I was confused and a little uncomfortable. My first thought was literally, "Now you're lying," which of course I didn't show it on my face, since that would be rude. It's kind of ridiculous that something so small and simple, which could be a frequent occurrence in someone else's life, could make me write a whole think piece about. I wish I could just be normal and nonchalant at everything. FR. Have you ever been in a similar situation? How did it make? Winter Echo says, I've never been in this kind of situation, but I would accept the compliment as it is, a compliment. I understand where you come from, and it's hard to accept it. But from what I read, there was no negative feelings from the bartender or the girl, no one laughed at you, or did it as a joke etc, so I guess it was genuine. I've received few compliments in my life, not flirting or about my physical appearance, and before I used to dismiss everything. But recently I realized that when people compliment, I should acknowledge it. I don't know what's really in their head, so I have to accept they may actually think that, even if I don't agree with them. And I thank them. To accept a compliment is also a way of bonding with others. It's showing we are ready to receive from others, and that we accept the way they see the world and us. You realized it was weird for you, and it's okay to feel that. If you can't accept it as a positive thing, Try to accept it as a neutral one. It's weird to receive a compliment when you have been without all your life. Maybe if it happens again, you will feel weird again, but you should just acknowledge it, smile or thank, and then move on. Maybe one day you will realize that the uncomfortable feeling is becoming less and less strong. ForeverAloneWomen says, there are ambiguous possibilities. They might try to make fun of you. Or you need more confidence in your external beauty. Or that was an opportunity to have some fun with someone. Anyway, all possible realities had vanished as you walked away from the scenario of possibilities and back home to your inner life. Anyway, that can also be your inner self protecting you from something or someone that is not supposed to be for you. Anyway, your first reaction is probably the best. Trust your instincts and intuition. Discusser1 says, it sounds quite nice, never been in this situation, but it sounds like a normal, kind interaction. Anahoop says, honestly I totally get it, and I too had grown up feeling invisible because of my looks. As of this summer I have definitely stepped up my appearance game, but when my friends or guys have told me I'm pretty I get confused, or just don't believe them cause they are trying to be nice. They might as well be telling you the truth, but I think it will take a lot of unlearn for you to trust and believe what they are saying. It is such a annoying mind, frick too. Throughav090 says, I completely get that you're saying. The reflexive disbelief is followed by a weird feeling every time I get complimented. It doesn't happen often, maybe once in a while at a social setting, but it's still much more than I'm used to. I haven't decided if they actually mean it, or if maybe I'm just girl pretty, or if I'm just average, and they're saying it to flatter me. But I still take it, because I don't want to risk sounding like a biatch. I also struggled with body dysmorphia, and I know my face has flaws, but ever since I started getting complimented I've come to realize maybe it's not that bad, maybe in real life from afar I look like a normal human. But because I grew up thinking differently, and thought no amount of MacUpen style will make me look even decent, it rewired my thoughts on social and romantic connection. Compliments are bittersweet, because on one hand I'm glad I look good, and it gives me confidence, but on the other hand, I'm reminded that I wasted it and will. That's all for this video, thank you for watching, please subscribe.